What up folks, it's Alex here. Now I love a good pair of headphones. Whether I'm out walking the dog, strutting around town on my lunch break or throwing weights around at the gym, I've nearly always got a pair of headphones on. So when Mixcder reached out to me and said, hey, look, we've got a new pair of headphones. They're active noise cancelling Bluetooth headphones with 40mm drivers and they're only 50 quid, you fancy trying them? I jumped at the opportunity. So without further ado, this is the Mr. Alex Tech review of the Mixcder E9 ANC Bluetooth headphones. Now yes, Mixcder sent these to me for review. However, I'm not being paid for this video and all views and opinions are entirely my own, as they always will be. So first up, what's in the box? Well, you'll find the E9 headphones themselves, a traditional micro USB charging cable, no plug though, a generously proportioned 3.5mm audio cable, an aeroplane adapter, and a rather flimsy but functional compact carry case. So let's talk about how they sound. Well, these relatively affordable headphones actually provide surprisingly good audio quality, with decent levels of volume. The 40mm drivers provide solid, if not earth-shattering, bass and decent trebles, but I'd say they're a little mushy at times with not enough clarity or separation as I would personally like. They also tend to err on the lower side of things, with songs sounding bassier than they would on a more balanced pair of headphones. However, when you turn the ANC on, something strange happens. You see, the ANC actually helps to spread out the sound, providing much more separation and an overall cleaner sound. The mids and the highs are improved and everything sounds just much cleaner and crisper. Now talking of ANC, it actually works surprisingly well. Whether you're on the bus, in the gym or at the office, the ANC really helps to eliminate a whole bunch of background noise. Now they're not the most aggressive ANC headphones in the world and they don't eliminate all the background noise, but they do subdue it enough to help isolate you from the world around you. Plus, you can actually use the ANC even with these headphones turned off. Plug them in via the included AUX cable, flick the ANC switch and you're good to go. Callers also come through loud and clear when taking a phone call, and the microphone seems to work well as I've had no complaints regarding call quality or volume. It's also worth mentioning that the mic does work with things like Google Assistant, which is nice and handy. Now, I don't like my headphones to be brightly coloured or too obnoxious, so I actually quite like the way these headphones look. They are, however, on the large side, especially in terms of depth. They're fine for me because I've got a big head, but if you've got a smaller head they might stick out a little bit too much. For me though, they're fine as they don't look particularly silly. But what about the build? Plastic is the material of choice here, which does keep them light, coming in at only 272 grams, but they actually feel relatively well put together. The headband itself is mostly a matte black plastic. There is a laminated shiny plastic rim around each of the cans and a strange shiny sort of perforated plastic on the sides, which does make a weird noise when you scratch it. The band itself feels really quite strong and doesn't mark easily. Unfortunately though, that weird perforated plastic on the side, that does mark easily and it also traps dust, which means they can start to look a little scruffy rather quite quickly. The top of the band and the ear cups are wrapped in a synthetic feeling faux leather material, which doesn't feel the most durable and can get a little sweaty, but overall it is very, very soft. The cups themselves are big, deep, thick and filled with a really nice, super squashy foam. All the hinges feel strong and they don't feel like they're going to burst or break during any regular use. Now the same can be said for the headband adjuster, which is reassuringly notchy and won't change size on its own without a decent amount of force. The adjuster is plastic and it's covered in a metal fascia which has size markings on it just to make life easier. Now you can put them in the included carry case during transit, or you can just do as I do, fold them up and just throw them in your bag. I personally haven't used the carry case at all and so far they've stood up relatively well to my abuse. Ergonomically, they're just fine, really. The left can has the ANC switch with blue LED and 3.5mm jack, while the right has the micro USB port, power and volume buttons. There's no dedicated play or pause or even skip track buttons here. However, you can tap the volume button to play or pause your track, or hold the volume buttons down for a few seconds to skip forward or back a track. Now fortunately they are well located, but I personally would much prefer to have dedicated buttons, especially for things like skip and track. Now you hold the power button down for a few seconds to illuminate the fetching blue LED and turn these headphones on. Keep holding for a few more to turn the Bluetooth 4.0 into pairing mode. Connection is easy and painless and has been totally reliable for me over the past few weeks on my Pixel 2 XL and Surface Pro. It's also worth noting that when connected to Android, you can check the battery levels of these headphones directly from your phone, which is handy. But you needn't be checking the battery too often, as the 500 mAh battery provides excellent battery life. They're rated for about 30 hours with ANC off, 25 hours with ANC on, and 80 hours with ANC on but connected via the AUX cable. Now, having had these headphones for a few weeks now and using them for a few hours a day, I've only had to charge them a handful of times, so 25 hours to me seems perfectly achievable. But here's that problem I mentioned earlier. You see, the power button and the ANC switch are separate. Now that's for good reason. It's so you can use the ANC when these headphones are switched off. But that means you have to remember to turn them both off after use, and it's really easy to forget. You come home, you take the headphones off, you hold the power button down, and you throw them in the bag ready for tomorrow. Unbeknown to you, the ANC is still switched on and is slowly draining your battery. It's happened to me twice and it's quite frustrating. Fortunately, they do only take about 2.5 hours to charge, but still, there's nothing worse than getting to the gym to realise that your recently charged headphones are now completely out of juice. But, providing you remember this, these headphones will rarely let you down as the battery life really is excellent. Okay, so I know that's all good, but are they comfortable? Now, the short answer to that is yes. Really surprisingly comfortable actually. They have good levels of adjustment. The cups are big, spongy and soft, and they pivot on multiple axes to ensure a good fit. I'm actually very impressed with the comfort of these headphones. I have a big head, I wear glasses, and yet I can wear these headphones for hours on end with no problems at all. So well done Mixcder. Big thumbs up from me on that. Overall, for 50 quid, these headphones provide excellent value for money. They don't look or feel particularly premium and they do scuff easily, but they're relatively well made, they sound surprisingly good, they have decent noise cancelling, are really comfortable and have excellent battery life. Are there better headphones out there? Yes, of course there are, but these E9s are a really decent offering at an excellent price point. If you're only looking to spend 50 quid, I think you'd struggle to find a much better pair of ANC headphones than these Mixcder E9s. Now if you do fancy grabbing yourself a pair, there is an Amazon affiliate link in the description below. Don't forget to like, comment and subscribe. Thank you for watching and I'll see you next time. Cheers!